Hey everyone, I'm working on a 4-horn combo arrangement of this tune, The Very Thought of You, and I thought I would go through kind of the process I use to reharmonize so I can set this up for an ensemble like a combo. What you'll notice that when you pick up a book with lots of tunes in it, you'll find that the changes are kind of lame, and you'll need to do some reharmonization and put some extra chords in, rearrange some things. Not to sound weird, but to just get it up to date. A lot of these tunes were written when harmonic progressions weren't as interesting as they are today. But what I'm going to do is just go through this. The key that I chose for this combo arrangement is E flat, and I could only find A flat in a couple of different books that I had this tune in. So you'll notice that the harmonic rhythm in a lot of places is real stagnant. It just sits there. For instance, at the beginning we only have 1-2 chords for the first 4 bars. So we're going to fix some of that stuff, and you can go through. First I'm going to do though, what I entered is this tune in A flat. I'm going to change it to E flat, and then at the end of the video I'll play the horn arrangement with these new changes. So let's just go through and I'll explain each thing that I do, kind of the way I reharmonize and make things a little more interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the key, and we'll get this over to E flat, and I just figured that E flat was a better key for 4 horns, at least the arrangement I was doing. The A flat just didn't seem to fit the arrangement that I was kind of coming up with. So I did change it. Now we're back into E flat. So let's do some harmonization here. Obviously these first 4 bars can't just sit on an E flat triad and E flat 6. So what we're going to do is just add a few chords here. And a lot of the things that you'll find that you can do are cyclical. For example, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 is a very common progression. So in this particular instance, what we're going to do is we're going to make this, first of all, E flat major 9. Rarely will you have a situation where you just have a triad. Maybe make this E flat 6, 9 or something like that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to get back to E flat here. So if you work backwards, what you could do here is a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So let's do that right here. The 3 would be G minor 7, and then what we're going to do on the next beat is do a C. I like to do an altered C plus 7 sharp 9, and what you want to do is make sure that the melody fits with whatever harmonic chord you put in. So we're going to do a little cycle here. Everything will fit with that melody when we do this. So 3, 6, 2 would be F minor 7. We'll put it on the 3rd beat. So the bass player is going to go G, C, F. And finally we could have B flat. This is the 5, and I would probably make it a flat 9. And then we're back to E flat. Let's make this E flat 6, 9. Okay, so we have a space here, and the harmonic rhythm here speeds up a little bit, and then we go into, most of the time the harmonic rhythm is every 2 beats. So in this instance we can go up a 4th. This B flat is the 13th of D flat 7. So we could put a D flat 13 on the 3rd beat. So we get this progression. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not D flat 13, it's A flat. So this would be the 9th. But you can still put an A flat 13 chord. We just include an F in the voicing. So what we have is kind of a cyclical movement here. 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 5, back to 1. And that sounds pretty good. So what we're going to do here is do more cyclical things. We can do a 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. Always look to where you're going. We need to get to this E flat major 7. So we could do an altered 6. How about C plus 7 sharp 9? And what these altered chords do is they give you a lot of room for inner voice movement in the horn players. So I could do a dominant here, but I'll just do a straight F minor 7. And then notice how we have in the melody a C, E flat, and a C. That's for a B flat, a dominant chord, that would be the 9th, and that would be the suspended there. But we really need some pulling power, so that is just a very short melody note there, and it's probably not going to be noticed if we put like a B flat 7, flat 9 chord there. So normally I would look at that and go, this has to be a suspended chord. But suspended chord will not pull to the tonic like a B flat 7, flat 9 will. So let's just make it a B flat 7. So in all these instances, you do have to make decisions, and constantly making decisions on what works and what doesn't work. But since this is so short, nobody's going to hear that conflict between the E flat and the 3rd of this chord. Okay, so moving on. This comes right out of the tune. I did make that E flat major 7. You probably could make this, because the melody note is an E flat, you could probably make it just an E flat 6 chord, so we don't have a major. Let's do that. Okay, now we're walking up. bass player is walking up. We have this little F sharp diminished 7 walking up. Now here's where I'm going to be changing some things, because you notice that the real book or the tune book or whatever I got this from had a 2-5, kind of a 2-5-1 here. I guess you could say G minor 7, C7 to F7. But since this is an E flat, it really doesn't fit a G minor 7 chord. So I'm going to make this E flat over G right here. And then I can make this, because this E flat is the sharp 9, I can do a C plus 7 sharp 9 right there. Okay, and that goes right down to the F7. Now notice we have an F7 throughout 2 bars here. And to create some inner voice movement and a little bit of harmonic interest, I'm going to make this first one F7, but I'm going to move up to a F, well, we'll make this F9, because the 9th is in the melody, so really it should be an F9. And what I'm going to do on the 3rd beat is make this F9 suspended. And what that will do is last all the way until we get back to here, and we'll make this back to F9, because we need to get to F minor 7. I suppose you could have F9 sus throughout here, but because we start with F9, that A is going to move up to a B flat, and you'll see that in the arrangement when I play it for you. So this is the same thing as before. B flat doesn't fit in F9, but it's so short, and it's part of the melody that you've heard many times. It's not going to really conflict. Okay, so moving on, B flat, F minor 7, B flat. If we're going to be real true to this, we might as well make this F minor 11, because that's what the melody is. Okay, and B flat, what we can do here is make, well, what I did in the arrangement, I did make this B flat 7 and then this B flat 7 flat 9. But let's just keep this as it is now. So D minor 7 flat 5. Whenever you have what we're really doing is doing a 2-5-1 in C minor here. So I like to make this one an altered chord, the G7. So let's make this one, gotta love the G plus 7, or the altered dominant, G plus 7 sharp 9. And that'll sound good going to C minor. Now in the arrangement, as you'll see, second beat, I actually did C minor sharp 7 plus 7, so there's a B in there. A lot of times what will happen when you write the arrangement is you find different lines you can put into the horn players, and that dictates what the chord will be. In other words, you'll have to put that in the piano part, not necessarily the bass part because they're playing roots. But the piano part will have to kind of reflect what the horn players are doing. Moving on, what we're doing is just walking down here. We're doing a 2-5 in temporarily in G minor. So D7 flat 9, that works fine. And what I might do is change that in the arrangement to something maybe like D plus 7 sharp 9 or D7 sharp 9. But let's leave it as it is. Moving on, G minor 7, C7. Probably make this C9 maybe, but let's leave it as it is. As I mentioned, when you start writing the notes in the horns, it's going to start changing some of these chords, but not the fundamental chord. It'll just change the alterations and things like that. So F7, because the melody note is a D, we're going to have to make that an F13 chord. Okay, and in the arrangement, I didn't do anything here because we need to get to this dominant chord here. The only thing I might do here is make this suspended and then B flat 7, flat 9 maybe here. Let's do that. B flat 7 sus, and we can make this B flat 7, flat 9. Okay, and then we're back to this part. So what I'm going to do is use this pretty much the same chords, although I am going to change this one right here. I'm going to do a different kind of sequence there, and I'll show you in just a minute. So let's go back here. Let's make this E flat 6. We did make that E flat major 9, but let's just make this E flat 6 for a change. Third beat, A flat 13. Now here we're going to basically do a little different cycle in that I'm going to walk down from, I'm going to do tritone subs. I'll do G minor 7, G flat 13, and then F minor 7, and then E7 pretty much altered. All we're doing here is tritone subs, G minor 7. Rather than go to C plus 7 sharp 9, I'll go to G flat 13. Just a different, basically the same voicing in the horns. It's just going to be a different root played by the bass player. F minor 7. And then here we can make E, basically E7, but the melody is a B flat and a G. I guess we could make this altered. We'll just make it sharp 11. Well, let's make it sharp 9, I guess. You'll see this happens so quickly, it's only one beat. But we do have the B flat, which would be the sharp 11. I believe it's sharp 11. And then we have G as a sharp 9. So that's just a little different. All we did was tritone sub it from the beginning one we did, because this is the second half of the tune. Okay, so here again, C plus 7, sharp 9, F minor 7, B flat 9. Now let's do B flat 7, flat 9. Pulls a little better to the E flat, this E flat 6. So always look and see what the melody note is. E flat fits an F minor 7 chord, E flat fits an F sharp diminished 7 chord, Here's where we have to do another thing here. We'll do E flat over G because that fits. We could do E flat 6 over G, but let's just leave it that way. C as before, C plus 7, sharp 9. Going to F7, here's where we'll do another sus. Let's make this F9 because the melody note. So if the melody note is a upper chord tone, always just change the, let's do F9 sus, back to F9. Okay, and as I said, I'll play this for you in just a minute. Finish this up. So F minor 7, B flat 7, D minor 7. Here's where we change this to an altered dominant chord. G plus 7, sharp 9. C minor 7, C minor over B flat. I guess I could do, yeah, well, C minor over B flat. Walking down to A7, here's where we make an altered tone. So these are all the originals I just took right out of the lead sheet. So this would be D plus 7, sharp 9. Or you could make it D7 flat 9 if you'd like. But we do have the sharp 9 right there. Oh, not the sharp 9, I'm sorry, the augmented. That's the augmented note right there. Going on to G minor 7, we'll make this an altered one. Now I can't stress enough that when you start doing the arrangement and figuring out nice inner lines, you're going to have to change these a little bit to reflect on what's happening. So you might have C7 flat 9 right here, but I wouldn't put it in until I worked out horn players and the lines that they're going to have. F sharp diminished 7. That's wrong. That should be F minor 7 to B flat 7. I would probably make this B flat 13 because the 13's right there. Make it B flat 13, flat 9. And now here's what we're going to do. Rather than sit on E flat for 2 bars, we'll just do a cycle here. We could do C plus 7, sharp 9 here. Now, lots of things we could do here. We're basically doing 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. And I could do an altered F7 here. I guess I'll just do F minor 7, and then we'll move to B flat 7, flat 9. So there isn't one way to do this, and I know there's tons of ways you could reharmonize this tune, but this is going to be like a walking ballad. I don't want to make it too weird. You could probably reharmonize every note if you wanted to. But you want to just get it up to speed and get some nice, interesting harmony going so that when you write out the horns, you have nice lines to do. So let me play the first part of this arrangement, and you'll hear all the different alternate chords I put in, and then you'll also see some of the horn lines that I did as well.